Welcome back. Well, I wish I could report that the weekend caught up a lot, but it didn't. It's 334 of 12 orders. So that is going to be orders from Saturday afternoon after the mail got here to right now, which is a little bit after 9. 330 is a typical day. Not over 2 days. I can't help what happens with sales wise. Mere speculation is it's heading toward the last bit of the month, which can impact sales across the board. It doesn't matter just me, it doesn't matter just eBay, it doesn't matter wherever, just sales across the board. And I think there's some calculation and anticipation of different things that the government is in control of. That's putting a lot of people in heightened apprehension on what their money's going to do next. I don't know. That's mere speculation. And same thing as what people will say about that sales go down around an election time or an election year. That is just correlation and causation. There's not a whole lot of evidence to suggest that. However, there's enough out there to where news outlets post small stories. If it was the opposite, if it was election time garners more sales, that would be all over the place. If election time had a cause and sales across the board for everything increased, that would be the story. It's not. The stories are that sales decrease. There's a big difference in that. Just because there isn't a story that's saying it's 100% absolute that's what causes it, but there aren't stories out there stating that around election time sales go up. So same thing as stories out there that it's toward the end of the month, again, which is mere speculation. A lot of people are going to pinch their pennies. Now, the good thing is that if you want to pinch your pennies and not spend as much on something, typically eBay and Etsy, Mercari, those are going to be a lot cheaper than retail, definitely. Indecisive about selling as much or selling a lot on eBay. The only thing that I can say is that you have to buy cheap, list as soon as you get it, list everything now. List, capital E, capital N, listen. And those sales should come in. Probably won't be as much. So that's my generic take on that. Like I said, it's 334 of 12 items going out. Not the greatest. Anyhow, let's find out what these items are. Inside Argent DVD. And if you're not familiar with Argent, it's 30 days in the hole. Something like that. 30 days in the hole. 17. Some David Bowie Scary Monsters. You know, David Bowie, the Goblin King from Labyrinth. Yeah, and Ziggy Stardust, a lot of other stuff. But 21. So if you're new here, when I say a price, it's rounded up or rounded down. If it's 20, well, I thought that was 2061, but it's actually 2041. So if it's 2061, it goes up to 21. If it's 2041, it would go down to 20, right? So that one was actually 20. Because when I read it down here real quick on a glance, it's 2041. Still, David Bowie, $20. Commentary, Letters of James. I believe it's a Watchtower Track Society book, 37. If you see the edging, the cover, it's kind of worn. Looks the size of my hand. And we have a Star Trek a book lot. So, Birth of the Federation book, Kobayashi Maru. This is the thing that was the more the valued one. Old PC game. A reprint of Star Trek TV Guide. Well, it's not the TV Guide. It's made by TV Guide. Star Trek Technical Manual. And a little Starfleet book. Those are 45 total. So you can see these two stacks. I have this stack and this stack here. Eventually I did put up all of these big comfy couch. Now if these were in at least very good and above, most of these are going to be 30 to 50 bucks each. But I put them all up there like 120 right now. I do have the disclosure in there, hey, they're going to need to be resurfaced better than of what I can. And the point is that this burnout right here, listed not yesterday, the day before, sold yesterday. This is one that needed resurfaced. You're probably not going to see this too well, but it turned out really good. And I still have in there, in the listing, this has been resurfaced or buffed. 19. Some golf device helper CD. So this is only the CD, and I believe it's a CD and DVD. There's no device. 28. Sonny Landreth CD, 12. The Very Best and the Greatest Hits of the Doors, 14. Some Reform, I believe it's some sort of Christian DVD set, 19. Scooby-Doo Snack Tracks, $60. This is one that I needed to resurface, I believe, a couple months ago. And I had just never listed it because it was in that bad of condition. To make this out, it cleaned up a lot better. And I have the angles, and I have in there, this one's probably listed as good, but it's clean enough. So keep in mind, a lot of collectors for these things here, they collect disc media. This is not 100%. Some, but some collectors know other collectors who have a really good resurfacer, or they can go somewhere and they know that they can get it professionally, completely redone for a couple bucks. So that's not a major inhibitor. Is why you want a resurfacer for reselling, is to increase something that wouldn't be listable, and you might be able to get 20 bucks in the really scuffed up condition that it was, or you could buy one and get $40 more. Example, arbitrary here, right? So this goes to show that I paid $240 for that resurfacer. 40 of that is in the 4-year warranty. So if anything happens mechanically, electronically with it, I get it replaced for free. So that is worth it to me. I'm paying $200, and even if it never has an issue for 4 years, cool. The Monkees, the band, VHS, 16. Todd Rundgren, 35. So I've mentioned before, Todd Rundgren is one of those musical artists that a good majority of their CDs wise has good value. Low 20s and above. Linda Ronstadt is another one of those that has good value. Not all of them. Again, someone asked what I look for when I'm looking at CDs. So I can hold 15 or so in my hand. So I have them in my hand. I'm just sifting through them. Strange, interesting artwork. Because nowhere on a quick glance, nowhere on here, if you don't know this cover, nowhere on here can I quickly and easily see Todd Rundgren. So I just look at them like, oh, that's interesting. Has no barcode. So interesting with no barcode gets set on a pile for me to hand type. And then when I'm hand typing, that's when I look at the cover a lot better. I'm like, oh, it's Todd Rundgren. All right. So look it up. It's actually a really good one. Multi-discs, soundtracks, cast recordings, small list CDs. So this one has 8. So if you see CDs that have like 4 songs, they could be a single, but either way, a lot of them are entry or demo, a demonstration to whomever, wherever it went out. And so a lot of bands would make demo tapes. And then there would be enough interest in those demo tapes to where they would have them mass pressed. And then they would send those demo tapes out to, say, 1,000 venues. And at those 1,000 venues, those people can listen to those songs and determine if they would want that person in that venue. And so that could greatly vary on the exact reasons. The same thing with records and DVDs. So limited presses. So it's just one of those, when I go out, and yeah, granted, I haven't been out as much. Matter of fact, I just looked, it's been 12 days out of the total amount of days that I've been out this month, when usually I'm out at least 5 days a week. Just haven't really felt that 1.21 gigawatt jive to really want to go out. And if you don't know 1.21 gigawatt jive, MC Chris. He's a white hip-hop nerdcore rapper. He stands like 5'5". Funny guy. And if you like Star Wars and all that science fiction stuff, MC Chris. And while editing the video, he had these two sell, separate buyers. The book is $15 and the gatefold CD is $22. Get the stuff packaged up, go into Beulah, Ashtabula, 3 stores. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, feel free to comment, thummy thingy, subscribe, share. It's all free. Everything helps. Appreciate it. Thank you.